Marilyn Manson finally confirms his highly anticipated comeback, and it's happening much sooner than you might think. Plus, we've got news from Seether, Corey Taylor, Korn, and much more. Stick with us. Good evening and welcome to Rock Feed. Before we get to the story about Marilyn Manson's highly anticipated comeback, we're going to talk about some news from Yellowcard. They have been engaged in a lawsuit with Juice WRLD and his estate for the last 6 months or so. It's been a real point of controversy for the band because the musician passed away back in December from a seizure, and the members of the band were mulling over the lawsuit and they were carrying it on. And this, again, wasn't a very good look for them. They conceded that their song Hollywood Died was copied to make his single Lucid Dreams. And so they were pressing on with this case, and they were continuing it, and they waited until the estate was able to pull a representative. And so what ended up happening a couple weeks ago, as we reported here on Rock Feed, was that the estate appointed Juice WRLD's mom, which meant that they were going to have to directly file a lawsuit against a grieving mother. And whether you agree with the suit or not, optically for the members of the band, that was just something that they probably weren't going to be able to overcome. The suit looked bad enough for them already, and the idea of this suit going forward seemed like it was doomed to fail in court to begin with. Now, I say that while knowing the band also had an attorney who had won a case like this previously with Pharrell's song Blurred Lines. So who knows what would have happened, but the point is that they did back out of this case. And here are the details from a report from XXL. The report says pop punk band Yellowcard dropped $15 million lawsuit against Juice WRLD. According to court documents obtained by XXL on Monday, July 27th, they have voluntarily dropped their $15 million lawsuit against the late rapper's estate regarding his song Lucid Dreams. A lawyer for the Juice WRLD estate told the New York Times that there was no settlement in the case and Lucid Dreams would not be subject to changes, meaning they weren't going to give them a credit on there. It wasn't a settlement. Yellowcard's lawyer released a statement on behalf of the band. He said, "My clients are very sympathetic not only of Juice WRLD's death, but also needed time to decide whether they really wanted to pursue the case against his grieving mother as the personal representative of the estate." So again, as I mentioned, the mother was labeled the personal representative of the estate. So to win that case, they would have to actually take his mother to court as a witness, which again, optically, this looks terrible. The mother didn't write the song. The mother wasn't even involved in writing the song, but she's going to be taken to court by this band based on a previous disagreement and a dispute that they had with her son, again, who has passed away. So, and then to begin with, it was debatable whether or not there was even a comparison between these two songs. In my opinion, there were similarities in harmony, but not necessarily song structure. So we're gonna have to see. The one thing is that this case was dismissed without prejudice. This means that theoretically, if the band wanted to in the future, they could actually bring the case back. And moving on, we got a new teaser from the upcoming video from Corey Taylor, which is due to release tomorrow. Now, we told you the other day that he is set to release a song with Tech Nine and Kid Bookie, but there are rumors out there that he could be releasing 2 songs tomorrow. I don't see in this teaser any indication that Tech Nine or Kid Bookie are in this particular song. So we're really gonna have to wait and see on that particular notion. But here is the teaser from this music video from Corey Taylor. We're going to talk about a new interview from Seether where they're saying that basically the internet is now more toxic than it's ever been. And he speaks on why he's no longer on Twitter and what a big dumpster fire the internet has basically become. And I got to agree with him there. So Seether frontman Sean Morgan was doing an interview over on 93.3 WMMR in promotion for their upcoming album, Si Vis Pacem Para Bellum. That's what it says. I'm going to try to pronounce that as best I can. That was my best effort. I know I'm probably wrong, so no disrespect. But by the way, I love Seether. So He's talking about social media, the toxic culture there, cancel culture and all that stuff. He says, I just see a lot of people angry people that really, if you disagree with them, they just want to destroy your life. And conversely, I see the constant striving of people for admiration and adulation from strangers because it sort of feeds their self-esteem and somehow makes them feel better about themselves. And I just don't want to live that way. I don't care about what other people are doing on vacation, what they're having for breakfast, what their lunch looks like. And I don't honestly, for the most part, care about random strangers' opinions on things. My friends, I do, and my family, of course, I do. But really, I don't exist in that ecosystem, and I'm very, very thankful for that. He said, I had a Twitter account, I think, back in 2010 or 11, just after it came out. Everyone was on it, and I just didn't have a thick enough skin to not take the bait. Then there were creepy people threatening my family. It went from something that was this communication tool to something that's very dark and sinister very quickly. And it's only snowballed, so I'm glad I'm not a part of it. But it's interesting to watch from the outside and see how it influences teenagers. One of the most deadly things right now is online bullying of teenagers, and you're getting kids as young as 8 and 9 who are harming themselves because of what other people are saying online. Through these social media tools. It's a very toxic age that we're living in, and I hate to use words that are thrown around all the time, but that's really what it comes down to. I don't know what the future looks like for me, but suddenly it doesn't look too bright. I'm trying to stay hopeful. Again, Sean Morgan from Seether, they've got a new album which is due to come out August 28th via Fantasy Records. Again, you can check their record out. They always write good music, and I'm very much looking forward to it. One of my favorite albums due to come out this year. And next up, Korn has released their highly anticipated cover of The Devil Went Down to Georgia, featuring hip-hop artist Yellowwolf. And basically, instead of playing the fiddle, they're playing the guitars. This is a great, timely tribute to Charlie Daniels, who recently passed away. Rest in peace there. And you've got vocalist Jonathan Davis saying, I've always said it, but country music is some of the darkest ever, he said in a statement. Merle Haggard, Buck Owens, and of course Charlie Daniels all turned pain into some really powerful music that sound alive. The Devil Went Down to Georgia is a classic story, and he wanted to release it now to help others in need. They recorded this cover back when they were making their 2019 album, The Nothing, but they did decide to release it now to pay tribute to Charlie Daniels, who passed away. So this cover is available on their Bandcamp page. If you check them out on Bandcamp, all proceeds of the track will go to Awakening Youth. This is awesome. An organization that helps young people grappling with the loss of a parent due to divorce, addiction, or any other reasons, any other tragedies. Wonderful cause that they are supporting. So go pick up that song if you can over there on Bandcamp. And last but certainly not least, Marilyn Manson is making his highly anticipated comeback. Marilyn Manson, it's been a few years now since his last album was released, and he's due for a new record, and naturally it looks like he's going to deliver. We've talked about this ad nauseum basically, but to catch those of you up who are not familiar, Marilyn Manson said a couple months ago that he had a fully completed album, and now we are going to hear the first single from this as untitled album. We're going to know a lot more tomorrow because this new single is going to be coming out tomorrow. The single is called We Are Chaos, and it is due to come out tomorrow at 12 p.m., and he wrote the caption sharing the following post on Instagram: Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here is the screenshot from this. So the song is called We Are Chaos. The interesting thing here is that we know that Marilyn Manson has worked on this album with Shooter Jennings. Interestingly enough, Shooter Jennings is the only son of country music legend Waylon Jennings. And so his musical influences should definitely be felt on this new release coming from Marilyn Manson in the very near future. Shooter Jennings is a country music artist in his own right. He's got rock feel to it. It's going to be really cool to hear what they come up with together. And so that is all for now. Thanks so much for joining us today at Rockfeed. If you're new here, again, please consider subscribing with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking news and updates. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.